Hello guys, Nick here with CPF Boxing, just checking in. I've not done a video for, it seems ages, it's probably just been a few days or whatever since I uploaded my last one, which was about Dave Allen versus Makhmudov, which has since been confirmed. I've got my ticket, I booked my ticket, me and my mate Phil are going to Sheffield on October the 11th, so I'm really looking forward to that. The ticket wasn't too bad really, price-wise. They have the handling fees and all that bullshit that they add on, but it'll be a good night, I'm looking forward to it. So I've got everything sorted, tickets, train, hotel. So yeah, looking forward to that. So just a very quick general video. So first thing I'm going to look at, my brother-in-law Luke sent me something last night. It's nothing new, but it's Eddie Hearn himself has said at the moment the front runner to face Anthony Joshua is Jake Paul. So, you know, do I think that will happen? I've sort of gone with I can't see it happening, partly because who would let it happen, but when you look at it, they're both professional boxers. Jake Paul has got a ranking. You know, some people were kicking off about it. Not necessarily his fault. Do I think it's right? No, but it's not necessarily his fault. So he's a ranked boxer. So they're both professional boxers, so they could fight. You know, it's more feasible than when Jake Paul fought Mike Tyson, really. Would I watch it? Do I want to see it? I'll be honest, yeah. I could sit here and say I've no interest in it, or Jake Paul will get murdered or whatever, but if it got announced, I'd definitely be watching it. I'd be there with bells on, do you know what I mean? Keen as mustard. Again, partly I know as a grown man, it's not a good thing to say, but partly to see if Jake Paul can step up to the plate, wink wink. Not to see him get knocked out or anything. No one's going to wish harm on another human being. We're all lovely, we won't do that. But see him step up to the plate, although he will get knocked out. If Anthony Joshua fights him, surely Anthony Joshua is going to be looking for that big punch like he got against Ngannou. And like I was listening to the Ade and G-Man podcast, and G-Man rightfully said what anyone would say. If he can take out someone like Francis Ngannou with one shot, Ngannou near 300 pounds, solid muscle, gigantic human being, that big neck, you know, he'll be able to take a lot of force, a lot of impact on that neck, all the muscles he's got in that area, stabilising him. Of course, like, I'm not saying muscles mean, you know, you can't be knocked out. That's not the case. And the whole physique thing's interesting. If you look at Alan Makhmudov, my predictions keep changing, but I'm not letting the physiques influence it now. But if we go back to Joshua Jake Paul, if it gets made, again, you can see it's dangerous to Jake Paul, but he's a professional boxer and he's ranked. And boxers move up and down weight classes all the time. So they may just say, you know what, you're a professional boxer, you're ranked. If you want to move up and fight Anthony Joshua and generate tons of money and interest for the boxing community, and the committees that license the fights, they get a percentage of it. All the boxing organisations, I don't know the ins and outs, but they get a percentage. Everyone's going to be on board with that. Everyone's going to make a shit ton of money, and I can see it happening. I would watch it, definitely. If it got announced today, I would already be putting it in my Google Calendar, because I'm quite OCD, bunging everything in there. I'd definitely watch it. What do I think the outcome would be? I wouldn't be going back and forth with it. I think Anthony Joshua should win. Anthony Joshua will be expected to win. The golfing class and experience and calibre is gigantic. It's gigantic. And before, where Jake Paul's always fought people size-wise smaller, and he's been accused of being a bit of a weight bully. Anthony Joshua's a much bigger man. You know, Jake Paul's probably 6'1" or something. He could probably get up to like 230 pounds or something a push. If he pushes it too hard, he's just going to get really slow, heavy, and he's going to have a lot of non-functional weight. He's a bit of a fat bastard. Joshua's like 6'6" or something. He must walk around like 245, 250 pounds. Very muscular. He'll always be training, you know, to maintain that physique. To stay sharp, he'll always be training, especially if they're talking about him fighting. The other curveball that comes into it is Tony Yoka. So Tony Yoka's recently been signed by Queensbury, I think it is. Correct me if I'm wrong. He's been put forward as a tune-up fight in case he fights Fury. I don't think they should have a tune-up fight. Just throw them in there. We've waited long enough to see the fight. Throw them in there. Fuck the tune-up fights. Could have seen him fight Tony Yoka before Jake Paul. I don't know what's the point. Like, if you've got Jake Paul as an option and you're at that stage in your career and you're a businessman, which he obviously is, you're going to take the Jake Paul fight. Any of us wouldn't we? We can go on about integrity and stuff like that, but when you look at the risks these guys face when they fight, I saw on Boxing News earlier. I'll try and find it as I'm going through this video, but a boxer has died from a fight. Yeah, Shigatoshi Katari dies after suffering brain injuries in August 2nd bout. So that's horrific. People could die doing this. So if you're at that stage in your career, would anyone really blame AJ if he took a fight against Jake Paul? You can go about the integrity of boxing and stuff, but he's already fought Francis Ngannou. You know, fights have happened before where boxers have faced sort of like novelty opponents. Muhammad Ali did it at one point in his career. I'm sure judo Gene LeBell he may have fought Ali, but there was a judo practitioner who moved into boxing for one fight and fought a boxer. It's happened in UFC. We've seen it. James Toney fighting Randy Couture. CM Punk was in the UFC. It can happen. Does it uphold the integrity of the sport all the time? A lot of stuff doesn't, does it? We have to accept that it's not this pure thing. It's a sport and it has corruption, as every sport does. I love football as well, but obviously there's corruption that goes on in football and cheating and stuff like that. Do I think it'll happen? I think I do actually think it'll happen now. Just look at the numbers. AJ could fight Tony Yoka, probably win, but it's still a big risk, big heavyweight. Yoka's obviously high caliber. He could lose, it's a risk. He could fight Tyson Fury even. I don't think he will if he's retired, but theoretically he could fight. But would that make more money than if he fought Jake Paul? He could fight Jake Paul. Fury and Yoka would be risks. He could lose those fights. He's not going to lose to Jake Paul. I was even thinking, oh, well, everyone has a chance of a lucky punch. He ain't losing to Jake Paul. Take that fight, finish him in a round or something. Or 4 or 5 if you want to give people value for money. With me, I'd rather just see someone performing to the best of their abilities. If he fights Jake Paul, I don't want to see any, like an exhibition. I want to see a professional boxing fight. I want to see them both trying to win and end the fight in whatever way they can. If that means Joshua knocks him out after 30 seconds, that's what I want to see. I don't want to see any pulling any punches. We'll fight Jake Paul and get over 100 million, 120 million. I don't know. Some people think it may be more than that. So I can see it happening now. Would I watch it? Fuck yeah, I would. I'd watch it. I can't be a hypocrite to say I wouldn't. I'd be all over that. Who do I think of it? Obviously, Anthony Joshua. Does anyone watching this, does anybody really think Jake Paul would win? You could say a lucky punch. Maybe Joshua could get an injury or something. I guess one of his knees could go out. I don't know. He could get a win by a technicality. Yeah, he probably won't win though. So yeah, next thing. Dave Allen, I've been watching a bit of build-up to the Dave Allen Makhmudov fight, obviously. The stuff leading up to that will be interesting, I think, because you've got Dave Allen, he's quite personable, down-to-earth type of guy. He's a bit of an everyman. He's a bit like us. We've seen the footage of him on his patio, who is massive. He's got a fucking big old gut as well. With his gut out, everything looked great, but him on his patio with his gut out, he's a funny guy. He'll be sat in McDonald's 1 second. He'll probably be like, shit, I've got to be on Sky Sports in 10 minutes. Then he'll head over to the studio. I'm sure he did something like that where he was double booked and he ended up on Sky Sports in his car or something if his training partners are kids or something. And Makhmudov, scary looking. And again, like, I'm not saying necessarily because he's scary looking, he'll win, because there are many scary fighters that have had fights and not won. I'm just saying he's scary looking. Anyone that says he's not scary, he is scary as fuck, to be fair. I'm quite tall. I'm not a heavy guy. I'm probably like 93, 94 kilograms at a push. I'm 6'4" myself. So reasonably big as far as humans go. Compared to me, he'd be massive. He's taller, he's bigger, thicker, much heavier. But he looks tough as well. I don't look like a tough guy, and I'm not. I'm quite a peaceful guy. I think unless the occasion calls for it, I'm just a peaceful guy. I don't like to do the tough guy thing. I'm getting older. I'm growing out of the alpha male phase and trying to be. You grow out of your insecurities when you get older and you give a shit less about that. That Makhmudov's scary to me. He's scary to most people. My brother-in-law's obviously quite a tough, stoic, Polish dude. He'd probably find him quite scary as well. He's scary, yeah. He looks like something from... I was checking his box rec and I was thinking I should maybe be checking IMDb to see what fucking films he's been in, because he must have been in Warcraft or Game of Thrones or something, because of the way he looks, or like a baddie in a James Bond film. Get this guy in some films. So yeah, a bit of build-up to that. I've got tickets and that. I'll be doing more on that. The other thing I want to talk about, obviously, before I go, because it won't be a huge video, it was mainly checking in. Hope you're all well, by the way. Thanks for watching. Any new subscribers, obviously comment, like, subscribe. Last thing, we're getting towards Itauma versus Whyte. So I'm really looking forward to this fight. I'm actually thinking of cancelling my DAZN subscription. I'll get the pay-per-view, but in general, DAZN, I've had it for a few months now. I'm not sure if to keep it, because do you know what? I don't actually watch it that much. I love football, but I've not been watching much of that. The boxing I've really wanted to watch is on pay-per-view anyway. They have some cool, little things like the debate shows they do with Tony Bellew and I think he's Darren Barker. There's some cool stuff on there, so I'll see. I might cancel that though. I'm still going to hit the pay-per-view for Itauma and Whyte for the purposes of this and just being a fan, and there's much worse things to spend your money on. So the build-up to the fight, a lot of people are saying about the shit that Dillian Whyte's in. Okay, He does look in amazing shape. Fair play to him. He's taking it seriously, as he should. Did anyone really think he wouldn't take it seriously? Again, these guys' lives are on the line every time they get in there. But despite him being in shape, I do want it to be very competitive, but I'm still going with Itauma. So that's only shifted my view very slightly. I did think Itauma would wipe him out, which sounds a bit harsh, in like 5 or 6 rounds. So the first half of the fight, I thought Itauma would have finished him. I'm thinking maybe it could stretch to 7 or 8 now, if Whyte's really taking it seriously and he's leaned up a bit and he's going to be in the best condition we see him in ages. But I'm not changing my prediction at this point. I still think Itauma will finish him. I think he'll knock him out, to be honest. I think he'll put him in a position where Whyte just can't, he can't continue. He'll wipe him out, I think. And again, it sounds like a strong use of words, but Whyte's looking in great shape. I've seen some footage of him, looks in good shape, looks like he's doing the right things. But again, Itauma's 20 years old. Itauma's not going to be just sat on the couch playing Mortal Kombat or something with a bag of Doritos. He's gonna be training as well to look very good. And he's 20 years old. And let's not forget this, and let's not forget what he's done to opponents that have come before Dillian Whyte. Maybe not the caliber of Dillian Whyte, but again, if I think of Dillian Whyte's last few appearances, fights like Tyson Fury, Desmond Tete? Desmond Tete is a politician or something, eh? Tete, whatever his name is. He didn't look great. So I'm really looking forward to the fight and the event in general. And despite what other people say, I'm looking forward to... Let's have a look at the card. I'm looking forward to Nick Ball fight. Do you know what? I'm looking forward to it. I really like watching Nick Ball fight. And people are saying that he should change his weight class. Regardless, I'm looking forward to that fight. I like Nick Ball as well. He seems like a really cool guy. And again, he's a very short guy. And he's got a slight disadvantage in that sense. But he's just taking people out. Some people would say due to technique and generating power and stuff, he's not a disadvantage. Who else is on the card? Yeah, sorry, I'm fucking around a bit here, but I'm just trying to find... Okay. Andy Kakachi versus Raymond Ford. I've got a feeling Kakachi has actually dropped out of that fight, if I'm not mistaken. Nick Ball, Sam Goodman. Sam Goodman, 20-0-0, so he's got a good record. Hergovic versus Adelaide. How can I forget about that? I'm really looking forward to that as well. For me, Hergovic will take that, I think. It sounds like he's taking his training really seriously. He's making some much-needed changes, and he's sounding very confident. He obviously respects Adelaide, but he's not really said he's better than me at anything. Yeah, do you know what? I'm going to put money down for that. It'll be a cool night. I can chill, watch that, do my usual thing. Like I said, I'm really looking forward to October because I can actually go to a live event. I've only been to very, very small boxing events before doing security at them. And this was back in Bristol, and it was very small events. Nowhere near the scale of the one I'm going to in Sheffield. Nowhere near the scale of most boxing events, really. But yeah, Itauma, Whyte's looking in shape, but Itauma's 20 years old, and he's not going to be in bad shape. He's going to be doing all the right things. They're really going to be meticulous with him. Everything will be right. They know that with a resounding win against Whyte, his stock's going to go up. He'll probably become a superstar, to be honest. If not, he'll put himself in a position where he can become a superstar by his next fight, potentially fighting someone like Joseph Parker. Where's Ajit Kabil also? When's Ajit Kabil's next fight? Has he had anything announced? Because a lot of people are excited about this guy, but I don't think he's got a fight announced. Again, if I'm wrong, correct me, because I've been very busy in the past few days, in the past week or so. I've had other live stuff, like job type stuff as well going on, like some cool news with that. Maybe I have a new job, maybe I don't. But this is a boxing podcast. It's not a life admin podcast because we all have that stuff going on. Where is Ajit Kabil? Zhilei Zhang, is he going to have a fight lined up soon? There's some guys that have been out of the picture for a while I'd like to see come back. Wilder, again, I don't know if I'd like to see him come back, but a lot of us would watch it. It's for the right fight. Anyway, I'm going to see if Crash Bandicoot has finished downloading because I just bought it. We've got family over from Poland and a couple of younger ones, so we're going to play that later, chill out. I hope you're having a good weekend. What else have I been up to? I signed up to the gym 10 minutes from where I live because we moved here recently. I've signed up to a gym, 23 quid a month, 24-hour gym. And I went in, the facilities are really good and it's much better than the pure gym in Guiseley. This one's in Idle. So yeah, I'm going to try and get on that more. I started taking creatine as well. I've been looking at the effects of creatine and taking that regularly. And yeah, so been busy as we all are, I'm sure. But it's the weekend, the championship season starts. So I'll be watching Hull City hopefully win in a couple of hours. Yeah, it's exciting times. It's a good time for sport. I know Buatsi had a fight announced earlier, and Daniel Lapin had another fight announced, who I'm a big fan of, although he was looking to his last fight. Other than that, enjoy your Saturday. Thanks for watching again. Sorry I've not been uploading as much as maybe I should do, but once the family have gone back home and we're a bit less busy hosting people and whatnot, then I'll be uploading more. And I appreciate you watching and listening to me talk shit. I enjoy doing it. Peace out, Nick CPF Boxing. Enjoy your Saturday.